Thingamabob.
Welcome to Retro Repair Roundup number whatever the heck this is.
Thingamabob.
Yes. I'm never gonna live it down, so I'm gonna own it. It's mine now.
Trademark it.
100%. Anyway, tonight's show is just laid back. We don't have a guest. We don't have a plan. We have like meeting notes I created 13 minutes ago. So here we are. And Ron isn't here yet, or might not be. I don't know. He knows about it. If he's probably tied up doing something. He works in higher ed, and higher ed is like crazy right now. It's starting up for the new semester. So if he's late, he's late. So, hi, I'm Joe from Joe's Computer Museum, Museum Joe on Twitter. You can go to jcm-1.com, buy blue scuzzies and other cool stuff, or you can ask me silly questions and I'll help you fix it. Our other host is Javier. Yell at people.
Yeah. I am Habmaster, the famous reef sommelier. I don't just own them. I smell them.
Oh.
78.
Yes.
Early 79, maybe. There was a couple plant differences.
That was a bad year. Yeah.
The fumes have gone to your head a little bit there.
Yeah.
And then I got my Rifa, ooh la la. I'm gonna get killed by what's his name? Antoine. Rifa, ooh la la. And nothing. I'm just here doing things, going crazy, just like Joe. With lots of little things, and I've been actually doing bad things. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rudy.
Rudy.
Hey, everyone. I'm Rudy from Rudy's Retro Intel, and tonight I'm not wearing a hat because I just finished barbecuing, and I'm like 1,000 degrees, or I'm just boiling, so sorry for the hat. Yeah. Look at Sean's hat. I love it. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of repairs this month. I was away for July and a lot of backlogs. So I'm doing all kinds of fun things and some new stuff coming up, and we'll talk about that later. Cool. Sean, what about you?
Sean, hi.
Hey, I'm Sean. I got suckered into doing another one of these.
Yeah. Show everybody the hat again. I think they're liking it in the chat.
Everybody likes your pimp hat. That's right.
Pimp my 2+.
I've been spending the past week and a half doing some strange and unearthly things to my 2C Plus.
Beautiful.
Can't wait to hear about that. So, basically, since we really have absolutely no plan tonight, let's just kind of talk about what we've all been working on. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Do it.
Got tons of things, actually. And you guys should go to my channel again and look at the latest ones. I was a couple of weeks ago, I was working on a friend's Apple IIgs, and I put a lot of heat sinks over there. We did an live thing with
stream on that. That's right. Yeah,
stream on that, and we made it. Yeah, we put a bunch of them, and then we follow up and make it very silent. It was the one that was very, very noisy. So now it's silent and it's cool. So that's one thing. And my friend,
How cool is it?
Well,
how cool is it? Somebody's got to do Ron's jokes.
Yeah. And he sent me more stuff, so I'm going to have more things to do. Also, I've been a bad guy. I've been doing Atari things. Boo Atari! Anyway, actually,
I like Atari.
Our Atari friends would be very proud of me. Because I'm going to do a video about it. Uh-huh.
Did you send it to Joe to fix?
No.
He has to break it first.
Whoa.
The Atari incident. You forgot about that already?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
But it was cool. Actually, I got it over here. I did a video of it. So basically, I there was a little issue. I got an Atari 800, and I wanted to play. I read about they released, a group over there released a new version of Prince of Persia.
Oh.
They revamp it, redo it in the Atari, and it's of course not it's a version made from them, but it's very well because it has nice colors and awesome music. So because it's new, but it takes advantage of all the Atari good things. And the problem is that it uses 128K, and my Atari only has 64. So
Ooh,
it was
upgrades.
a big thing, huh?
Upgrades.
Upgrade.
Yeah. So, but it was more than an upgrade. I did a bunch of things. I bought memory, and then I got a cartridge to run it, and then it wasn't compatible. It was, yeah.
Is it an 800 or 800 XL?
800 XL.
Okay, I just got one myself.
So it's
just
beautiful. It's a great machine.
Yeah.
But it didn't run it. So finally, I got this AVG card that I didn't knew that it's a new thing. So everybody recommended to me in the forums. I got it, and it runs.
Is it average?
It's actually, yeah, they call it the average card. That's what it's AVG. It's funny. And they have a little cable that connects to the back and allows it to share the memory that has inside with the computer. So it gives you 256, I think. So pretty good. And it ran. Finally, I could play Prince of Persia. Beautiful, man. It's a great game. And I'm going to be looking for more of these games to install in here. There's a bunch of indie new games that I wanna play with. So you know what? Atari, but it's not that bad actually.
So what's the best Atari to get if you want to do like dip your toe into the 800 XL, the 600 XE?
I would say it would be the 800 XL because it's the newer of all those units. It gives you the best
Of both worlds.
monopoly of the 8. I'm saying in the 8-bit era. It gives you the best capabilities across the all 8-bit era. But that's just me.
Well, I would have to say no. I would have the 130 XL. There's a 130, and that's like the new version. The new keyboard, like slanted and all that.
So the one that looks like the 520.
But it has more memory, and it has it's like an 800 with more memory. Because I heard
but then you take away all the fun of hacking and destroying your Atari for me to fix.
True. And honestly, I'm not very happy with the Atari's the ST. So yeah, I wouldn't go to the STs. And STs is like a GS actually. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I knew about the STs. My uncle, he was a big Atari fan, and we used to go back and forth on, what's better, the IBM, the Mac, the ST. He was a total ST diehard. But I was curious about the 8-bit. I've occasionally had temptations to dip my toe in there. I thought, 800 XL, 1200, the 600 XE, or the 130, which would be the best all-around machine to get. So
actually, now that you're saying it, yeah, the 800 maybe is your best bet, just because I heard that 1200 has like the cartridge thing. It's thinner or something like that. And other thing that I like is that I just take these because I always lose them. This thing is not on this port is not on the 130 or the new ones, and this is the one that allows it to be connected over here and then connected to the cartridge and give you more memory.
Oh, okay.
So I think
the APG card cost.
The whole thing, the two things, €100 shipped to the US because it's from Poland or something like that. And it's not bad at all.
The AVG gives you like SD card capability, or
yes, SD card.
Okay. So you'd have to. Does it have like Atari DOS built into it and all that stuff?
It has I don't know. It allows you to just. It's a cartridge emulator.
Oh, so no OS.
No OS. Oh, but I heard there's a an Atari OS, a DOS, something like that. But I haven't really played with it. I
Well,
know that there's
supposed to be built into the drive.
and you just turn it on and you select the little games that the cartridges images and just run. But it's so easy. It's something like for me because I couldn't get the other one. I had this other one called Atari Max, and that's the one that I was using all the time. Yeah.
Can
And
you
the
use
Atari Max.
FujiNet at the same time as that?
Hmm?
Can you use FujiNet at the same time, or do you have to?
I suppose I think FujiNet goes in here. Yeah.
Now, I have the S Drive Max. It's a similar thing, but you don't have to. You just plug it into power, and you plug it into the port,
SIL.
and that's it. So it acts as the same way. It's got a menu. You can do it from the keyboard. Where I have my first one was a 600. Actually, it was an Atari 2600 console. Then I bought the 600 XL, and now I have the 800. And I actually did a video on modifying the RF modulator on the 600 XL to work with a tiny comp to give you composite.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's really cool. The one thing I like about the 600 and 800, which is not a big thing, I guess, most people, but I like it, the fact that you can press the option button when you're booting up. It has a built-in diagnostics. It's like the 2E and the 2C with the newer ROMs. You can actually run a diagnostics to see what's going on. And yeah, there you go. And it's fun. It's fun, getting the kits and modifying them for more memory and etc.
Tiny.
Plus, the 600 and the 800 XLs, they're not that expensive. You can buy them on eBay and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
but if you get a cartridge like the AVG or the S drive, you don't need an extra hard drive a floppy drive or a tape drive. You just put that in as an SD card. You pop it in the SD card and off you go. It's great.
And that's what this is. The only difference that and Geek says that this is Atari Max is very good. Yeah, Atari Max is very good, but it doesn't give you extra memory.
No.
And I bought extra memory to put in the back, and it gave me 320K, but it didn't get recognized by the card by the Atari Max. So even with that memory, a lot of programs didn't run. And with the AVG, they will run. It's like more compatible, I suppose. I'm not.
Yes.
Do you have a link to that so we can throw it in the chat for people?
I will get it in a minute.
Yay!
So that's what I've been playing a lot with. Go ahead, Rudy,
Oh,
or whoever want to go
what
next.
is that?
Their thing about moving on.
Boob. Oh god. Anyway,
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. I just released a video for Septandi, my very first Septandi video. A good friend of mine who's also a customer gave me his Coco One, and he wanted me to look at it. It wasn't booting up. There was a problem with the power supply. Quick fix, but I put in the tiny comp and did the mod for that, and for the audio and video, and it came out really good. So check out my channel and watch that video. And I'm also working on a K-Pro video, the K-Pro 2. Joe, you have a helicopter in there, or is that your printer?
That. Oh.
And
I was hot.
the K-Pro video will be coming out hopefully sooner than next month. A lot of cool surprises on that, and doing repairs. That's about it for now. Joe,
Cat, I'm going to take my time to respond to Cat, asking why don't we have April or whatever. The name fits, but I have said many times that if we have an Apple II month, it needs to be in July because K-Fest is in July, and I think they would mesh perfectly. But
we'll call it Japple.
Japple. I was going to call it
Jalapple.
Apple II Christmas in July. I don't know. But yeah.
That would be a good idea.
Before I continue, does anybody want to guess how many resistors are on that?
10,000.
Too many.
500.
Rudy, you're incorrect.
Not 10,000. Less
No.
or more.
500.
What's that?
More or less.
He said 500.
500. You're both wrong. Rudy, you're high. Sean, you're low. And Javier,
1,000.
too many is about right.
All right.
Geek with social skills got it. 5,000.
5,000.
Hey, look, I got another one.
So you got 1 million.
5,000 and 5,000 is not 1 million. Oh, the joke. I missed the joke. $1 million. You see, Rudy can do that because he's got the right head for it.
What do you mean? 1 million.
$1 million.
Anyway, about me and my stupid crap. Bob's there. Bob has hundreds of spools apart. Yes, Bob is an old timer. So what's going on in my world? So I have been screwing around with Tinkercad because with Tinkercad you can do cool things. Like I've been making these silly little 3D printed coins. Like there's the TRS-80 coin I made, and the Apple coin that you can't see. Apple.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
And this one's my personal favorite just because it looks so pretty. IBM.
Ah.
And because I'm rolling in the dollar bills, y'all, JCM coins in gold.
So which hotel in Vegas do they work with?
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Which hotel oh, cool.
Sure. No, they're not the right size for that. And because we're talking about Atari, I got Atari coins too. So I'm just making these silly little coins. Joe's minting his own currency. My currency is hilarity and craziness. Anyway, so I'm printing these out because I'm going to just randomly throw them in orders. I give out the stickers, but I wanted something a little more tangible and feeling.
Tangible.
And they cost me like 2 cents to make. So it's like, whee! So I'm going to be handing those out randomly to people. I might also make for my patrons some challenge coins that use a 2-color print. I don't know. I'll figure that out. So that's what's going on. The MM5740 AAE encoder, also known as the Datanetics keyboard encoder for the very early Apple IIs and the Apple Ones, is back in stock in my store. It was in stock. I sold a couple to Logan Greer, who's a kind of up-and-coming name on the Apple II enthusiast group.
Mm-hmm.
He bought a couple from me because he was going to use them for his Datanetics keyboards like this, for his recreations for his Apple One when he was out at VCF West. But it ran into problems. My encoder didn't work with this.
What?
So I worked with him in addition with Philip Allison a little bit. We did this like 3-way video call late to like 1 or 2 in the morning one night. We figured it out. We figured out the glitch with it. So I was able to take those off my site, redesign it, and they're back up there on the site. And now they're 100% perfect. So if you've got one of those old machines, or you're building a replica of one of these and you're having problems finding the original keyboard encoder, at least you can get one of my encoders to make it work until you can source an actual one. Because as we know, those encoders are like hen's teeth.
Yep. Yes.
I've been working on this thing as well. I've just been building one of these so I can test my encoders properly. I have basically a reverse engineered version of this I made for myself. That it's like electrically identical, but it's like missing some of the stuff. But I wanted a good test bed for testing my encoders in the future, so I got one of those.
Cool.
I'm working on a super secret project for Mac Effects that will hopefully have I will call it a late beta, hopefully by the end of day tomorrow. We'll see. I am simply waiting on, I can't even tell you what I'm waiting on. Like that would be too much of it. But I'm waiting on something that when that something is done, everybody will be absolutely blown away by it. It's going to be really, really super cool. I have to give great props to Mark Josatis and Mac Effects for coming up with the project to begin with. I have to come up with awesome props to Javier for being a wonderful idea guy and for coming up with about 85% of the features that are in this project. And a yet as unnamed person, which was it on the Kickstarter, Javier?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I'm not going to say this person. A third phantom person whose name shall remain anonymous at the moment.
But he's amazing.
Who is contributing something awesome to this. All I'm doing is I'm a big monkey with big wrench hands smashing it. Make go! I'm just physically putting stuff together because I have a microscope. These other people are doing all the real hard work, all the brain work. So
We knew that.
it's yeah. So yeah. Don't make me get mad at you. Anyway, no. So yeah. It's Waz, isn't it? You can tell us. No, but I think Waz would like it. I think he would think it was cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So Vintage Hillbilly mentioned, what about the revision to the Tiny Comp? We may be working on that to see if we can get the Tiny Comp to work with other versions of the Coco. So that'll be a cool thing. Yeah. The Coco 1 should be pretty straightforward. The Coco 2 is different because it's got a convoluted RF setup that usually when you hack in a composite to it, it doesn't look right. It's all fuzzy and blurry. So
the RF modulator, like your standard modulator, is actually is built into an IC. So the IC acts like your RF modulator, so it's kind of hard to. It does all the processing of the video, so it's kind of a weird.
It's hard to tap off of it and get good video. That's why on the Coco 2, many of the composite mods are you're removing the entire metal box and replacing it with different electronics.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's the thing. So we'll see what goes there. For Septandy, I have parts inbound for my Coco 3, so I can make the Coco 3 kick butt. Basically, I've ordered a 6309 processor. I've actually ordered 4 of them from 2 different sources in the hope that like one of them will arrive before the end of the month. And I can do a video on it. If not, I'll probably just do a late video. But basically with the 6309 in the Coco 3, you can run Nitros 9. Fully preemptive multitasking operating system.
Damn.
Nice.
On a computer from 1989. So it's I love that. I love stuff like that. I love little hackadoodles like that just make these old computers. It's like you do with the Apple II. Hi, I have an old computer. Did you know I could talk to Twitter over the internet using HTTPS? Let me show you it. It's like these machines were never made to do this, but we're doing it anyway. Gosh darn it. And then of course I've been busy doing fixes for clients and blue scuzzies. Like I've had blue scuzzies up to my wrists. So that's what's going on in my world.
And live streams.
Yeah, but I'm on everybody else's live streams, but not my own live streams and videos because I'm too busy building crap. So I really haven't had any time to do any videos. I have 2 videos, 2 scripted style videos I want to do, but I just got to get the time to do it. I think once the Mac Effects project is under my belt, because one of the scripted videos I want to do is in relation to another reverse engineering project. I'll be able to get back to that project and get that video done as part of that project. So we'll see. Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah. Did everybody else, did we all go? Did we all do our thing?
No, Sean.
Oh, Sean gets to go. See, I walked away. I didn't know if you were talking when I walked away.
Well, we were about you, though.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I mean, everybody already talks about me. It's all good.
We were jealous about your hair, but anyways. Sean, what's going on with you?
The only thing I was sitting down here in the basement the other day, and I was kind of mesmerizing myself with I got a stack of parts here in front of me, and I look over and I got a stack of Apple IICs over here, and I thought it reminded me of a demo that I saw at K-Fest a few years ago where Crew and I think Melissa Barron they took a bunch of Apple IIs and they tried to have a kind of an Apple II symphony. And so I thought, I'm kind of bored and I got a lot of time, so I hooked up about 5 Apple IIcs because I had enough crickets and echoes and Mockingbird Ds to go around. So I hooked up all the machines and put uh, some music software on there, and I was trying to compose like a bass line on one machine and different instruments on the others, and I was trying to put together a band.
Nice.
And, I actually made progress, and eventually I'll probably demo it, but
Awesome.
it took about 5 hours of, of doing this, and then what complicated matters even further is a while back, uh, Javier traded me or gave me, I don't remember which, but he gave me an Apple IIc interface that was for MIDI keyboards, and
Okay.
I think I need to involve that in there too. So
Cool.
I'm gonna try to take this Apple IIc MIDI, this passport interface for the Apple IIc, and uh, hook it up to some MIDI instruments and see what I can get jammed out.
Awesome. Can't wait to watch that video.
I have a weird question for you. Could
The
you
problem
like
is getting everything
pass MIDI?
synchronized.
Yeah, could you pass MIDI to the Apple IIs from an outside sequencer, make them make music across their Mockingboards?
No, I don't think so.
That would be cool. Yeah, I'm not sure the Apple II would be fast enough to respond to a 32 kilohertz command bus. Would be pushing it. Anyway, just thinking. Cool. What else are you doing?
Uh, that was the big, crazy thing that I would not normally have done, but because of the tremendous amount of progress we've made in getting the basement kind of organized and things, where I could find things, I was just downstairs and I had that wild hair, and I thought, why not? And next thing I know, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm
Oh God, it's 12 again. When did that happen?
2 hours. And I'm like,
But that's the best when you know you're doing something, you're so into it, and it's so much fun that it's like 3 a.m. and you don't care.
Yep.
Like that's
the time
awesome.
literally flew by. I mean, I was just so engrossed in. I mean, I went downstairs to look for a part, and I sat down, and that was my mistake because I was looking around and I thought, I've got a few minutes. I can do this. I can play around with it a little bit. Next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Crazy.
I can relate.
It's the only 8-bit high you can get.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of repressed.
Stand by. I need to sniff some color accurate paint.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
So, Sean, will you be doing a video on that, or what are your plans with that setup once you got it all?
I think I probably could. I got with the machines that have the Mockingboards and the crickets and the echoes. I've got them playing like one or two instruments each. It's a matter of pressing the space bar at the same time. Get them all synchronized. Otherwise, they don't sound right. Plus, I need to come up with a better speaker output for those because they're all kind of tinny.
Yeah.
The Apple IIc speaker just doesn't do a good job.
Tiny things.
And then the other thing is I'm not sure what's going on, but it seems like some of my Apple IIcs run slightly faster than some of the others, and I'm not sure why. And it's not because they've got zip chips in them or anything like that.
I was going to say that.
But it's just I think maybe because they have more RAM. I don't know what the deal is, but music instruction set tends to run a little slightly faster for some reason. And so either that or I've got the timing wrong. But it's probably that. But I'm still kind of working out the bugs. I'm trying to come up with a maybe a way that I can through the joystick port I can create one button that I can click that everything kicks off at the same time
Ah, yeah.
in the initiators. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of in the thought of doing something like that.
Don't forget to bond the grounds together across all the machines, or the button won't work.
Yeah, it's just
I like
just a
that idea.
crazy project.
Hey, crazy projects are where cool things happen.
Yep.
Like my keyboard encoder. I'm like, my Apple III doesn't have a keyboard encoder. Well, I'm gonna make one.
And the other thing I got involved in is over during K-Fest, Javier and Vince Brill were nice enough to customize a. They cut down a socket for me so that I could put in the ROM CX Plus.
Yeah.
Which is really a nice product. I gotta say, if you don't got one, if you don't have a ROM X product, you need to buy one. They're awesome.
Yep.
Anyway,
Instant chop lifter. That's all I gotta say.
I love it.
It's the coolest thing you can totally get. Anyway, they created a custom socket for me because they couldn't find the right size anywhere, and they installed it. But somewhere between having the machine at K-Fest working just fine and getting home with it, somehow that thing had popped out of the socket. So I had to tear that thing apart and make sure it was pressed down all the way. And once I did that, everything was working fine. Because the C Plus was doing some weird things before that. And that started me down a rabbit hole of swapping out a bunch of cards and testing. And I'd get my machine put back together, and I'd say, well, wait a minute, I think that I should have put this brand RAM card in there instead of this brand RAM card. And I've just been crazy, going nuts, just testing all this different hardware for my 2C Pluses.
Put your Apple IIc back together. You don't just run it with it in pieces. I mean, that's what I do.
Well, sometimes, but after I buttoned it back up, thinking I'm good, I would sit back and go, wait a minute, I got this other card I haven't tested yet. I mean, I'm going through the drawers of my loose products, my parts, and I'm finding things that I forgot I had. So
you can ship those all to me, Sean. I'll have Javier give you my address.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have some of that stuff already, do you not? Or is that a secret?
Yes. No. I have not been sent anything magical yet.
No, I have some things that I haven't sent to Joe. But yeah, this is a 2C Plus, and it has a Mockingbird C.
Yeah,
Javier is doing stuff with your parts. I'm kidding.
Yeah, they're coming later.
Is that project a secret, Javier? Is like nobody's supposed to know about that, or is that a?
Oh no! What I have been. I gotta put a package together for Joe, but this one that I want to show you is a video that I just finished, and people have to check it out.
On, I got
because and Joe has enough things to do, so it doesn't matter.
I mean, I don't have just boxes of crap from JLC PC. I can't. It's backwards. It's reversed. It's like a mirror. It's not like I got 8 boxes from JLC PCB with boards in them for things to do.
Here,
or like, it's
there's
just like
there's a Mockingbird, and underneath that it's the ROM XC Plus. So yeah, it's a great machine.
I really would like to buy one of those and install it. The only thing that bothers me is you lose your memory expansion.
Yep. Uh-huh. You lose that, and also there's
Go ahead.
I did some testing, and not everything works. So
it's not working.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if somebody was able to take a Mockingbird and a memory card and a CPM card?
What about a drive?
And maybe a hard drive or something like that, like an SD card.
And a serial card.
Combine them onto one card Did
It's hard to rule them all.
Could that be doable?
And make it one chip.
Make one chip with enough
Whole
money.
thing is one chip.
Rudy, hold on. Let me call Intel. They have a new fab opening 35 miles away from here. I'll just say, hey, I got a project for you. Can you fab this up for me? I got $1 million. And they'll be like, you're $18 million shy, buddy.
That's right.
Okay, they just talk to Ron for the other 17.
Yeah, there you go. Will Jacobs, Joe, thanks for the blue scuzzies. Next order soon. You're welcome, Will. I saw your email. Thank you.
You, Javier, did you see back in the chat that where is it? Somebody said that they'd gotten their Wi-Fi working.
Oh, that would be Bob, maybe. And yeah, oh, I didn't know that. I sent him. Remember that I a couple of K-Fests ago, I began to do that project. Remember the 2C Plus modem, internal modem, with Vince Brill and who else was? Well, a couple of more people. They were helping me, and I couldn't make it work. So I sent it to Bob because he's actually starting to do the same thing, and hopefully he's gonna
legend.
That's right. So hopefully he'll accomplish where I failed, because I got ideas, but I don't have the capability.
Upside is there are lots of projects out there that have already done very similar things. So like the code base, the chips, interfacing it with the serial and all that there, it's more of a customizing it to the Apple IIc in a way where you can just go and do the
exactly thing. And I talked to Bob because I have ideas also to make it nice. You know what I mean? And you know my ideas sometimes are good.
Well, the Apple IIc needs all the love it can get.
Yes.
Yeah, because the way that some people make it, it's very technically good, but kind of not very nice and difficult to use. I don't want to say the word ugly, but yeah.
Javier knows all about fire. He makes it unintentionally and intentionally. Buy a candle today.
Good.
Well, you don't want it to catch fire, because you won't know, is it that's on fire or your reefer cap. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like it could be either way.
You don't want both.
So yeah, one of the projects I'm working on, I actually have to be very, very careful with how we design it, or else it will literally cause the machine to catch fire. Anyway, moving on.
I gotta send one of these to Bob.
Yeah.
Then it will work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, by the way, I have them in my store now.
Yes, Javier has Javier candles in his store. Saint Javier of Retro Bright.
There's there's a link. I put it up.
I'm still waiting for my free candle.
I gotta send it out. They don't let it pass through Canada.
Yes, they will.
Okay.
Just stick a $20 inside bill inside.
And 18 people today were arrested at the border for trying to smuggle goods into Canada. They heard some random dude on a live stream say you could do it and be like, we all know, if it's on the internet, it's true.
That's right.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
So yeah, another thing that I've been working, I forgot to tell you, is that secret project. I think I did a video, but I didn't say it over here in the program. Mm-hmm. And this is a hard drive. This is basically, it's going to replace or try to replace the CFFA.
Ah, yes.
So it's
with all the wonderful things covered over, so we can't see what they are.
Exactly, it's secret. Yeah. But I had a meeting last Tuesday with one of the developers. He came to town, and we had a chat, and we were talking about it. These things that you see over here are actually links for a remote. So you're gonna be able to have all not only the lights, but like a remote control, just like the CFFA. But this is what's compatible. Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Cool. Will it support larger smart port drives, or is it just disk drives?
No. Everything. It was gonna be almost like the CFFA, just with more compatibility and faster. This
So-
is like EMA. It's really
Here's my question. Can that
That's fine.
technology be taken and put onto a board that has a lot of memory and has CPM functionality and then created into a single board one could actually install into their Apple IIc?
And a 2E?
yeah, because this is
Yep.
only for Apple IIe and 2GS on 2 Plus because it's a card.
Yeah. So,
Joe, if you can make that and it works on a 2C or a 2E, that'd be cool.
I'll get you in touch
Breakout
with the
board.
developers.
it's like hanging out the
Now,
side with this like
you should,
cable, and it's like it works. It's got like a socket on the end of it. It's like
but if you make
Hey,
it from
it works, it works.
2E, you can make it longer and put a fan on the side, just to help cool it down.
yes.
Apple One has a lot, yeah.
And have it built into the card itself, like you have a hole with the fan on it to keep the rest of the computer cool. And then you can actually have a link that goes outside to your beer fridge to monitor the temperature of your drinks. I mean, you need that.
Why not?
Oh man. I had a weird random thought about using Arduinos to monitor something in my house to determine when things happened in my house concurrently. What was it? Oh, sewer gas monitors. That's what it was. I have old pipes in the house. I'm trying to determine where in the basement. Weird tangent. It's technically related. I have the pipes in the house are just old, the sewage pipes, and I have a sewer gas issue in the basement here. But
That would explain a lot.
yeah.
Don't flush.
But anyway, I'm trying to determine the source. And
Ah,
you can't. It's just hydrogen sulfide. It's like you walk and it's like, that's nice. So I'm like, and it comes and goes. So I like want to get a whole bunch of like Wi-Fi connected ESP whatever things and put little hydrogen sulfide sensors on them and put them all over the basement and monitor them all in real time on a graph and see which one spikes first. And that lets me know where the problem is.
Light a match. Yeah.
Light a match. Boom!
wow. How come this thing
Self-immolates while trying to find hydrogen sulfide leak.
why does this area smell like reefer caps?
Yeah. Oh, wait, it is just me. The less time I spend down here, the less it stinks. Got it. Got it figured out. Okay.
You should make little mini sensors you can flush down the toilet, and as they go, they can see with the camera where the leak is.
Yeah.
Yes.
With an infrared camera, and then you can have it on a web page, and we can all watch it with you.
It's actually surprising. Weird tangent. Drain videos are huge on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I love them. I love watching those.
Oh.
I'm weird. Like that's my go-to. Yeah, exactly. That's my go-to when I'm like winding down for the evening. It's like, oh, the drain addict's got another video. Yeah. Bob Darlington, correct.
Oh
Toilet
my God.
cam. Yes. Anyway,
Yeah, I bought that.
back to the show.
Let's come
I
back to
bought that the USB camera. It's like a 25-foot cable. It's really
Yeah.
small. I paid like $20 on Amazon,
Yeah.
and I got it because I wanted to see if my vents in my home are dirty or not. Because when I bought the house, it was brand new, and they said, "Well, we cleaned everything." Well, I wanted to see, so I actually bought it, plugged it into my laptop, and I ran it. I scoped it down the vents, and it was clean. But I mean, it was so cool that you can just scope it down, and I guess you could do the same thing in drains, right? They probably have a camera like that. They can just scope down.
Boom. Anyway, why did I just click the having issues button accidentally? Start a chat with us. No, go away. I clicked buttons accidentally. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about cool things that we have acquired recently. Sean,
Yes.
do you have a cool object you wanted to show off? I don't know if you have it ready and handy, or if you want to go grab it while we yell.
It's not something I've just acquired recently, but it's
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the whole thing of having you on the show. Other than you're awesome, is because you've got so many freaking cool things.
Yep.
yours is not a recent get. Yours is just look at the thing I got. So yeah, let's show that off. We're gonna make you bigify.
Is that a prototype board?
Can you see it okay?
You got a little bit of a reflection. Tilt the top of it toward you. The reflection is coming from your monitor.
It's from the computer, the reflection. So
Tilt the top towards you a bit. There you go. A little more.
a little more.
A little more. Is that a 2E prototype board?
This is a Super 2. Technically, it's an Apple IIe prototype. Back when Apple had released the Apple III, and it wasn't as successful as they hoped it would. They knew they had to reinvest in the Apple II line, and so they wanted to do a reduced chip count. And this is what they came up with, which was basically the 2E design.
Reduce the cost, sell it for the same price, profit.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the reduced chip count. This is, I think, board number 95, I think it is. These aren't exactly rare. I know of about 10 of these that are in existence.
They're not exactly rare. There's 10 of them. It's fine.
Roughly 10. But this is one of the boards that this has been autographed by Woz and Randy Wigginton.
Cool.
At K-Fest. And James Littlejohn built this picture box for it. And it's one of the cool things that I treasure, but I'm going to go ahead and donate it to K-Fest for their museum that we're working on. And then we also, K-Fest also has another one of these Super 2 boards, and they also have a proper 2E prototype. So,
cool. My question about the Super 2 is, does it run?
I did not try it.
I don't blame you.
I'd have to put some RAM in it. They're empty sockets, but there is ROM. So
have the ROMs been at least dumped and preserved and all that? And
I have not done that either. But if somebody wants to, I'd let them do it.
Cool beans.
But
that's really cool. Yeah,
that is insanely nifty. I would love to see the ROMs and do like a side-by-side comparison with the Apple IIe finals, the non-enhanced final, just to see what the differences are. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be hugely different because the Apple IIe is so insanely compatible with the 2 Plus and the 2, with the exception of some of the special calls for or special support for double high res and stuff. But that actually, double high res didn't come in the 2E until like a second revision, did it?
Yeah, it was the Rev
wire mod to get that or something. Yeah,
but they found it quite by accident.
Yeah.
The Rev B was the double high res, the first Rev B, I should say. And the 2E, I consider the 2E to be the pinnacle of Apple II development. It was, I mean, the 2GS, I've already said this before, I think, it's more of a hybrid machine to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's somewhere between what it really is, which is
it's like an Amiga with an Apple II bolted onto it, kind of.
Yeah, well, but to me, the Apple IIe is the pinnacle of the development of the series, and you could just look at these boards side by side and see the changes they made to them as they went through the development series, and it's really intriguing to see the progress they made.
Cool.
Very cool.
Rudy.
Me?
Toys.
Toys. This is my toy. Well, sort of.
There are many others like it.
Yes.
This one is mine.
But I have to buy a 3D printer to make my stand. I made my own. Oh boy. I poked 2 holes in the case, took a coat hanger, bent it just to the right shape so it sits. It can sit this way. It can sit this way. It can sit this way. It can lie down. Whatever you like. So, yes.
Sit, Kaiwheat, sit. Good meter. Beep.
That's
also
funny.
make
That's
it
a
walk.
very, very deep 80s reference. Anyway.
Make it walk.
So I figured blockhead. So I was getting tired of having it lying down all the time and I couldn't see, and I figured, oh, let me just do this. So yeah, that's my latest gets. What else did I get? Oh no, I did get something else. I got a let me see if I can pull this out. Sorry for the crunchy noises. This is a RGB to HDMI adapter.
Ooh, let's show it.
Pardon?
Click. I wanted to show
There
it.
you go. Oh wow.
It uses Raspberry Pi.
Yes. So it's really cool. So I can plug anything that has RGB into the adapter and then get HDMI. So I was looking for something like this for specifically for the pet repairs that I'm doing, and this kind of leads into a secret project that I'm working on. Sean from Geek with Social Skills is helping me, and that's all I'm going to say about it for now.
Secret projects. Yeah.
When you
And-
say RGB, are you talking about CGA?
Pardon?
When you say RGB, are you talking about like CGA?
TTL RGB or
Yes.
analog RGB?
Analog.
Oh, okay.
And what else? And yes, I am. I'm in talks with a plexiglass manufacturer for my new modern and slick 2E case that I'm designing. The prototype will be coming out soon, hopefully before Christmas. And it might be for sale in mine. I'm just doing it for myself because I think it's fun and cool. Because I have a 2E board that has no case. It's like, what am I going to do with this? Like, well, make a new funky case for it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just in need of an adapter I can plug into the 2E that will give me allow me to plug a USB keyboard into it. So there was some site that had it, but they're not replying, and I don't know if they have stock or what's going on. But so I need to look for that.
That was those are now being sold from Reactive Micro, I believe.
Are they? Oh, yes.
Yeah, you're talking about
USB or PS2?
So I need to be able to plug just a regular USB keyboard
Option 8.
into a 2E.
Arkham Store.
And if that's the case, then definitely by Christmas I will have something to show and tell.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a fun project. And like I said, I had an extra 2E board that I'm not really doing anything with. I kept it for parts, and it's been around for a while. I thought, let me just do something fun, and I'm going to be designing a new modern case for it.
I'm not seeing that keyboard mod on Henry's website.
Look under Retro Connector, Keyboard Shield 2E for
Oh,
Retro
okay.
Connector.
Yeah, option 8.
It's $55. I think that might be the other way around though. Connect a. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a 2E keyboard to a modern system. I
Yeah.
thought it would go backwards though.
He did. Yeah. I know that Henry had it was a replacement board. He called it the super encoder. I think Vince Briel designed it, maybe. I don't know. But he had an encoder board that replaced the entire encoder board on the bottom of a 2 Plus keyboard. That replaced the encoder in case you had a bad encoder. And that's why I didn't do a 2 Plus version for the longest time, because he had a product I didn't want to step on in there. But it also has a PS2 port on the side of it, so you can just route a PS2 keyboard into it. But I don't see it on his site, so I don't know if he stopped selling it or he lost the rights to do it or what. Oh yeah, there's the keyboard shield. I see the keyboard shield.
I know there's something out there, or there was. Give me a little time to find it. I
Take your time.
I thought there
We'll
was
just wait for the next 4 hours. It's fine.
See, the reason I'm looking for that is because the new case will not be using the original 2E keyboard. It'll be using a modern keyboard. However, it'll be the look and feel of the keyboard will be like a 2E, like the switches and all that. It'll be like a modern version of a 2E keyboard. So, and the fact that it's not going to be built in the case, like the 2E has the, the slant on the front with the keyboard built in. This will be two separate pieces, and I don't want to give much more away of the new design, but yeah, it's a fun project. And if I can get that, like I said, hopefully by Christmas I can demo it live first thing on this stream and go from there. If people are interested, then either I'll give them the all the dimensions and all that stuff to make their own, or maybe even sell it. I don't know.
Ooh. Is this the Linkadoodle? I found a picture of it, but I can't find a link to it.
I just put a link in the chat.
Link in the private chat. Copy.
USB keyboard interface for the 2E. Oh, I think that's it.
Yep, that's the one. Yep.
The question, do they still sell it? Buy it now on Tindy. Oh, okay. $60. Wow.
I'm not sure his store is still running.
Boo.
Yeah, but the thing is, it exists, and I'm sure you could. I'm sure that
Charles Mangan, right?
Henry to probably
You can
produce
talk to
it.
Charles, maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Charles would probably give him permission to produce it.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Because really, that's the last missing piece I need for the new case design I'm building, and it's been very difficult up to today to find something like that. So I didn't think anything was possible, but I didn't want to run the thicker cable out of the case to the keyboard. I wanted something a lot more slick, and maybe even eventually do a wireless keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be like a very like a modern design of the 2E case.
Rudy, check this out.
Yes, I checked the site, and thank you.
Check out this eBay link.
Oh, let's look at that.
Mm.
Let's open it up and see. I'll pop it in if it's. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Why is that
sold.
eBay link? Hold on. Copy.
It's a sold product. Yeah.
Well, but the thing is
sold. Yeah.
well, I will do my best to find you one of these.
Yes, if I can find one that I can use for now, that'd be great. But like I said, later on, if people want to buy this kind of new case and they want this, then they'll have to, I don't know, find it on their own. Or I'm hoping that I can, hook up with some seller that maybe get a bunch and for a good price and sell it off with the case.
16-channel analog multiplayer.
We can talk to Charles. He's still around. Maybe he just give it somebody else to do.
Yeah, I don't know Charles.
Yeah, we do.
Charles
So
Mangan.
yeah, Charles Mangan. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Now, we can combine that with memory and a Wi-Fi card and an SD card and a CPM and a monitor for my beer fridge. That'd be awesome.
dude, I'm telling you, the Apple IIe aux slot can do everything. Full bus access, baby. You plug in anything in there, and it'll turn your Apple II into a Pentium 4. It'll be slower, but it'll be a Pentium 4.
Running Microsoft AppleSoft.
Beep. Taka, 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 taka.
So that's it for me. Joe, what about you? What's net new?
Oh, I wanted Javier to go first.
Oh, okay, Javier.
My list is long and complicated.
What is new on your list or on your bench?
There it is.
The monitor.
Ooh.
Oh.
Andy,
So
let's make you bigify.
bigify it. Ooh.
Oh, it just went away, but it is Prince of Persia.
Cool.
And it's running from an Atari.
Nice.
Boo Atari. Oh, wait.
Boo Atari. But it's cool.
Septari.
It has,
that's
honestly,
sweet.
it has better colors than the Apple II version, honestly.
Yeah.
And the music is also better.
So is this a game available for
Yeah,
everyone?
for free.
Oh, cool. You should put that in the link too.
Yeah, I'll look for it and I'll put it in a link. Yeah.
Jeremy's asking what size that monitor is.
This is a Night Owl 8-inch monitor. This is one
Which
of
you
the
can't
best.
get anymore.
Yeah, you cannot get any more.
Why?
I got several. This is painted.
No, really.
Mm-hmm. With
The only reason the Atari has better graphics than the Apple IIe is one, it came out way later, and two, it has a dedicated graphics chip where the Apple II is like bit banging crap into memory on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, you got to give it to the Apple II. It had color graphics and sound in 1970 freaking 7, baby.
Nobody had it before. Yeah, but you know, this is nice. You know,
yeah,
it's a great. You know, 30 years later they came out with it, but you know, it's good.
Yep. Cool.
So that's what I got. That's my new thing, and plus, you know, all the other things that I show you that I've been testing, and that's it. I'm doing a lot of 3D thing also. Trying to recreate a lot of the 3D things.
Yeah, didn't you just make something for and send it over to Adam McGee?
Actually, hold on to your horses. There it is.
Hold your horses. What is that?
So that's the door latch for the Apple IIc.
Ooh,
floppy,
nifty.
And it was done. No, this is not done by me, honestly, but this was printed by me with the PLA that we got from Holland, or I don't know, remember where from.
Yes. RAL 7044. I will tell that to everybody far and wide. The color code to nearly perfectly match Apple II Platinum is RAL 7044.
Not nearly. It is exact.
Is that just as strong?
It is strong, yeah. The only thing, it doesn't have the metal things over here, but it I just tested it and it works. It opens and closes.
Nice.
So it doesn't break.
And 50 Shades of Beige says RAL 7044 is the greatest. And he would know. It's one of his 50 Shades of Beige.
So anyway, yeah, I've been redesigning a lot of things in the, like the Apple II, the case for the, the floppy drive case. I redid it. If people want to reprint their cases, the floppy drive cases, I'll have it. I got the joystick. I got the little caddy for the, where is it? Hold on. This one, somebody asked some time ago in Slack if this could be recreated because they lost them. This is for the conserver. You put this in instead of one of the drives, and then you put your floppies in there.
Oh, that's cool.
So of course this is the original one, but I did a 3D version, and I saw that somebody already printed it. So you can print it out and replace it.
We saw your 2C door latch. Adam had it on a stream today, Dave's stream.
Yep.
And he's putting it in.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he has still to sand it a little bit on the edges because it will be a little bit hard.
That's typical 3D printed stuff, right?
It's very difficult. 3D printing is kind of like I mentioned it on the stream. I was on there when he was talking about it. It's kind of like trying to round the circle by doing successive polygons.
Yes.
Like
right.
You're either going to be inside the circle or outside the circle because it's printed in layers. And those layers are defined either by the minimum step height that the printer can do up and down, or the nozzle width and the thickness of each line it can print. So you can slice it multiple different ways. And one way, this dimension will be okay, but this other one will be too long. And you just you got to just futz with it. It's hard to get it exactly perfect.
It's just a thing for the 3D world. I mean, it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah, but it's workable. That's the important thing, that it works and it serves a purpose. And his purpose was that his was broken, and it's very difficult to get another one. So to recreate it.
Yes.
And like that, I did a bunch of things like that little slider from the I'm sorry, from the drive from the Apple IIc Plus. This one people lose a lot because you open it up and it just falls. Yeah,
Flies across the room and goes away.
yeah. So I
Ask me how I know that.
yeah. And somebody was retro riding it once, and it in the outside in his garden, and it got lost in the grass. So
Are you sending one of those to Joel?
yeah, it's
Are you going to send one of those to Joel?
Joe has it. Joe has a lot of them.
Joel?
Joel.
Joel with an L.
Joel.
There. L.
Oh, sorry. Who
Joel.
Oh, yeah, of course. I think I sent them already. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. A lot of 3D, a lot of playing with other computers, cheating on the Apple II. But that's it.
For shame. Shame.
Joe, your turn.
It's my turn. I'm going to do my impression of David Caruso's career. No, okay. That's a really deep joke. So, gosh. So, yeah, lots of things. Yeah, I've been tinkering around with like a bunch of different things. A lot of my gets are like massive shipments of boxes of things from foreign countries and stuff for these prototype projects. But my big get was just today. So yesterday, I believe it was, somebody found, I don't know if it's Javier. Was it Javier that found it? Somebody found on eBay
It was me.
Was it you? Okay, great. See, Javier is the source of all my ideas. I'm just a robot. I'm just his hands and eyes. I just do things he tells me to do. So he found a board on eBay that was actually really inexpensive. I think because they didn't understand what they had. They didn't know what they got. It was a Macintosh, is a Mac Plus or Mac SE style emulator board that goes into an Amiga 2000, 3000, or 4000. And you would think something like that would go for like insane amounts of money. It went for like 100
prototypes.
And they call, well, no, it's not a prototype.
Oh, no?
No. I did research while I was looking at it.
Okay.
It's the, how could I put it? It's the lowest version of the board. Oh. You could buy that board with the different options attached. So this board basically just doesn't have the serial port options or the SCSI option or any of that. They're all there. All I have to do is just shove them into the board. And would you know, I happen to have a whole Mac SE over here full of freaking parts that I can just yank out of and shove into the thing for $0. Look at that. On top of all that, all but one of the chips are off the shelf. There's a single non-off-the-shelf chip on that, and it's a single PAL chip, which if I'm lucky and it's easy to reverse engineer, I can reverse engineer the entire darn thing. Like,
sweet.
That. So people could have this awesome board for way less than $150, I would have to guess, other than the cost of like the chips, and turn their Amigas into Macs if they wanted to do such blasphemous things. But the problem with this board is this. I don't have an Amiga 2000, 3000, or 4000 to plug it into to test the damn thing. I don't even know if it works.
There's always eBay.
I don't know if it works.
No, but it's very difficult to get them.
So here's the problem.
Amiga.
Yes, the 2000, 3000, 4000s are like rarer than that Super 2 that Sean has. Like you can't find them. And when you do find them they're like for $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah.
Found one in Japan, $700.
Domo arigato.
Yes. I did a sniper bid on it and got it for $800. So that's my buy. I normally do not spend anywhere near that amount of money on anything, including my freaking mortgage. So this is a thing I'm doing for the community. I'm taking one on the chin for you, community. So
you do it, Joe.
Hopefully that machine will arrive here from Japan in one piece, and I won't have to pay like $800 shipping to get it here. It's probably going to be like $150 or $200 to get it here. Here's the extra kicker. That machine's got a video toaster in it. It's got a new tech video toaster in it, baby. Yeah.
I never seen those, but I heard that they were the the rage at their time.
Yeah. Dude, I can do like full video editing on my old 6040 machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I used to live in Topeka when New Tech was in Topeka, Kansas, of all places.
Mm-hmm.
I'd run into Will Wheaton now and then because
people don't know that he worked there. He worked there as a product evangelist.
Mm-hmm. I'd run into him at a coffee shop that we all kind of went to, and he's actually a pretty approachable guy.
Oh yeah, he's super nice. He's gotten better and better over the years too. After he's, how can I say, he has rooted out the evils of his childhood past. He's like super nice dude.
I heard he did that on Big Bang.
Did what? What?
I heard he rooted all that evil stuff while he was on Big Bang.
Yeah.
The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
We done!
Anyway, so all that said, so that once that comes, I'll be able to get the Amiga 4000. It's a 4000, baby, up and running. I hope it works. I don't even know if it freaking comes with a keyboard. I don't know.
Congrats. Hopefully.
Machine.
Won't it display in Japanese?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. It's a 4. All I need it to do is to boot far enough so I can test that Mac board. That's really all I need the thing for.
Yeah.
And then I can, if somebody wants to trade me down to a 2000 or something for it eventually, because whatever. So yeah, that's my crazy get. I also have a top loader NES inbound, top loader Nintendo Entertainment System, as well as potentially a front loader NES that Justin may be selling to me. Justin D. Morgan in the chat. Because there's this really cool game. I'm going to actually drop their Twitter handle here by Something Nerdy Studios. They are creating they've created a special mapper. If you don't know how the NES works, it has these special chips that they shoehorn into the Nintendo's architecture to tell the Nintendo to do things. Basically, this mapper chip that they've created, allows you to have the absolute maximum colors per 8-pixel segment possible at all by basically serially bit banging the crap out of the PPU, and effectively turns the NES into a 16-bit console.
Oh,
wow.
This mapper also does magic with the special audio interface connections that are on the front loader version of the NES to have 32 kilohertz audio.
32 kilohertz.
Wow.
Yeah, like high fidelity, like higher fidelity than a Mac, like super high fidelity audio. So basically, it turns it into a 16-bit console, and they're making this brand new game to use that mapper. I've been following them on Twitter, and they did a recent post of showing like this full 16 cycle walking animation of a character. You don't see that crap on an NES. I'm like, I don't have an NES. I need to get one.
I need one.
So those are inbound at some point. So yeah. And finally, I already showed it. Platinum Paint. LVP powders and paints, lvppaints.com. They will make you custom RAL color code paints in any RAL color code you want. And so I have this project where I've done a couple streams on it. I have a Power Mac 7300/200 that now has like a crazy 1.6 gigahertz G4 in it or some crazy stuff. I don't know. It's got some, might be a 400. I don't know. It's insanely fast now. I did all these upgrades to it. I put a SATA card in it, so it doesn't use SCSI because the SCSI controller's broken. It's got a SATA card in it now, with a SATA SSD in it and a SATA CD-ROM drive in it. The problem is the SATA CD-ROM drive is black, and the machine is Apple Platinum. So I needed to paint it. So I'm like, we need paint. We have the color code. We have the PLA. We can get paint. So I did a search, and this company makes custom RAL paint. And so I have three different types: matte, satin, and semi-gloss. And I had to run out earlier in the stream to grab them because they were out in the garage because I was doing paint swatches to see what the finish is
better,
I can compare the finishes. These are something like $16 or $17 a can.
Oh.
Expensive, relatively speaking, but on the whole, $17 for custom paint.
Yeah.
Screw Retrobite. I'll just paint it. Javier is yelling at me.
I didn't like
No,
like that.
Don't do that. Don't paint them. But
Just
seriously,
paint it all
like,
black.
you could take anything that's slightly off, or like you could like even if you don't want the expensive REL filament, you could use super cheap filament, but use a can of this and make a billion platinum colored things, right?
Yeah.
Or say you've got nicks or scratches or something or whatever you need to touch things up, you can use that. So cool stuff.
So basically, it's going to come down to which method's fumes kill more brain cells.
Yes. PLA, polylactic acid, has 0 fumes unless you hit it with a soldering iron, and then it smells like burnt milk. It's delicious.
Well, that's your paint versus the Retrobrite.
Oh, yes. So I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, so that's all I got going on right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually forgot to mention that I'm working, but this is taking a lot of time. I'm working on a conversion. Sean will be very interested in this one for Mark Pekalski. You know, the guy from Penguin. Yeah. Sorry, Mark. I don't know how to say your name, but
his name is like Strohsnyder or Snot Nicky. Nobody knows how to freaking pronounce it. It's fine.
Exactly. You guys got to change it to an easier for us, not very good pronunciation people. Anyway, for Mark, cool guy, Penguin graphics guy. He's very cool. And I got this monitor from Mr. Phillips. What's his name? Mr. Phillips. He lives here close by in Tampa, and we met, and he gave me the monitor. I got it up. I got the internals and sent it out to somebody that requested it, and I retrowrite it, and I'm doing a conversion to flat screen. So I'm gonna have a video on that. Unfortunately, I got the flat screen, and guess what? It came out broken.
Of course it did, because of course it did. Because that's just what we need in an electronic shortage. Crap to get shipped broken.
Exactly. So I sent it out. Good thing is that their response was very good, and they say, we're going to send another one. But, it's time. So whatever.
Ooh, on related note to chip shortages, I was able to actually get more chips for my keyboard encoders.
Oh.
I had to go eBay and pay twice the price, but I got some. So I now am the owner of the last 50 PIC 16Fs 18875s on Earth. So
yeah,
I hope the audio car industry doesn't need them, to like control airbags or something. As they're going in Apple IIs. Sorry. Here, let me put my Apple II in my car so my airbags will go off. The car will be broken, but that Apple II, I guarantee you, will survive the crash.
GM is looking for those chips
they're looking for you.
Seat warmers.
What's that?
I said GM's looking for those chips so you can turn on your seat warmers. Apparently.
Yeah.
I know a guy who got a GMC truck, and he's waiting because they don't have chips for the seat warmers. So
yeah.
Okay, just I don't know. But anyways, interesting.
Yep.
Here's something I got that doesn't require any chips. I don't know if you can.
Books?
Yes.
What is that?
Capro books.
Is that?
Capro. Oh yeah, move it because you cannot see it with the.
Yeah, you got to shine on the books. Paper, nice. Like books with like readable characters printed with ink on a big factory machine. What old crap is that?
Listen,
we do old crap. That's our show. That's right.
Listen to the sound of pre-internet.
It's silent.
It's silent. Yes. So now I have all the manuals. So now I can say I have a very complete K Pro 2 system. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Boom jam.
Low tech, but we're still cool.
Yeah, sometimes things just do not beat a real manual. When I'm doing Apple II stuff, half the time, if not more, I'm up here right behind here are all my books. I'm grabbing my original Apple II schematic out of my original Apple II manual and folding the thing out and looking at it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to print it out. I already got it printed out. Absolutely.
Well, I like the books because that way you can bookmark them, You can, if you don't mind, you can also highlight them in your book or put tabs on them. So sometimes just fastest to go like this, go like that, go to the page, read what you want, done, as opposed to going on the internet, doing a Google search. Yeah.
Sorry.
Cool.
You just stick blue tack in the corners and just,
Yeah.
Why are these pages stuck together? I don't know, Mom, I swear. Anyway, moving on. So let's talk about something repair related. Rudy, I heard that you had a wonderful rude awakening, so to speak, from your K Pro 2.
Yes.
Talk to us about that, because I think everybody is going to love to hear about this one.
Well, the adventure started when I'd been wanting to look for a K Pro 2 or 4 or whatever K Pro for a long time, since I saw Joe's videos and Action Retro's video.
Sean.
And I finally got a printer. I said, yeah, I found the printer. Like, it's pretty rare and you can't find the printer anywhere. So I bought the printer, really good price. I ended up getting a K Pro 2, which is the first K Pro machine made.
Yeah, figure that one out. I have the K Pro 1, the last one made.
That's right.
I have a whole video series on the freaking numbers. Anyway, go ahead, Yuri.
It's a messed up model, like number.
2? Is it 2?
It's
or
Roman
2,
Roman numeral
2 or 2 or
2.
Anyway, go ahead.
So I got it, and it wasn't booting. There was a problem with it. And long story short, there's a mod you have to do for the drives. I did the mod and it works. I said, fantastic. So I'm getting excited. I'm putting CPN. I'm trying to copy diskettes. And I forgot to do something. And all of a sudden, it turns off and I see smoke billowing out the back, out the floppy drives, everywhere. It's like, I forgot to change the reefer caps. I left them in. So the first thing I did, I didn't get a fire extinguisher or scream for my wife. I grabbed my phone, I videotaped it. So I actually have my very first reefer cap fire magic smoke. I've collected the magic smoke on my phone, and it will be coming up on a future video when I talk about a smoking hot K Pro, which is actually literally smoking hot. And then later I show how I can turbocharge it to set from 2.5 to 7 megahertz. Yes. So that's another get, I guess. It's like I couldn't believe I caught it on video. But I actually have pictures of the back of the unit where the holes are for like the air, and on the table is like black crap from the reefer cap exploding. It just like went everywhere. Let me see if I can find the.
My question is, does that room still smell like it?
No, actually, no, I actually opened up all the windows. I turned on, we have an air purifying system. I turned that on. We evacuated the house. We went to Greece for a month, and then we came back.
Okay.
Honey, we're going on vacation. Why? Don't ask questions.
We're going right now.
Why does the house smell like fire? Shh.
Just go.
We don't ask these questions. We just
pack
go.
Your bathing suit and let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
She's leaving the house like, is this some sort of like insurance scam? And you're just embarrassed that you blew up something in the house.
I can't.
Man. You know what?
I put it somewhere, but on the video, I'll show the picture of the cap, and it's pretty cool because one side it's cracked. Yes.
If you need one side is cracked. I got your hook up, man.
So on the reefer cap, one side is just has a big crack, and the other side is actually like ripped apart.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It just looks like it just went kaboom. It just blew crap everywhere.
That's what
they do, man. Those film layers, they end up whatever inside them they use to separate them. They end up getting a separation, and they touch together, and then the 120 volts is like, I have a path to ground. Boom!
So
it
the
very
interesting
quickly
thing,
turns from a capacitor into a high value resistor.
yes, the interesting thing, I didn't know that it has 3 other smaller reefer caps, because when I was replacing, I
Yep.
found 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
So I got replacements for those 3, but for the larger one, I couldn't find them anywhere. I checked with Mouser and DigiKey and some other
Mhm.
ones that I know of. Nobody has it, and I thought, well, screw it. Let's just turn it on and see what happens, and it
Leave it
works
out.
fine without it. So
Yeah.
for
Yep.
now, it's going to stay without.
They're just filter caps.
But
They're like, we wouldn't want you to mess up your AM radio or your television reception.
or your ham radio.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. So that was the magic smoke. I finally got it after years and years of waiting for something like this to happen. Now,
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
I found out the coating inside the Apple IIc Plus is electric. Well, it's like it's an RF shield, but thankfully not so much. I fried the whole computer just enough to light up and make smoke. You
Oh my
lit
God.
the coating on fire.
Damn.
That is awesome. That reminds me of
Cool.
the time I accidentally shorted out a crystal on the side of an ultra warp, and I turned it into a light bulb. The Apple II was fine. It's this one right here. It still works perfectly fine.
it's a tank.
Dude,
Yes.
my life. What was it? What were you saying, Sean? James found one buried in a field.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he found a couple of them. They were in a landfill at a dump, and they were literally buried in the ground, full of soil, tree roots. And he has pictures of these, and he took them out and he cleaned them up, and they work.
And
So
one of them
that-
is a driver.
Say that about a Mac, about a SE30, which blows itself up sitting on shelves.
That would be a cool thing for K-Fest. You make a time capsule, you take it to, you bury it in a box, fill the box with concrete, and bury the whole thing in the ground.
Yeah. It's like, Rockhurst, can we bury something outside Kokorin Hall, please? We promise it's not actually toxic. Maybe toxic.
Yeah.
That's true. The 2E is a tank. It's
just,
you can do all kinds of stuff, and it doesn't care. It says, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
and it keeps going.
I've thrown so many 2Es into overcurrent protection.
Yeah.
I have thrown so many cards into, sorry, I'm exploding. The computer is it is happily running underneath it while smoke is billowing out of a card. It's just running. It doesn't care. It didn't even crash. The machine did not crash. It turned it into a glowing white ember, and the machine was running. I couldn't believe it.
It's an arsonist at heart. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It did this. I did that to that chip. You see that trace
Ooh.
there? This is one of my test chips. I put this in backwards and shorted 5 volts to ground.
It doesn't care.
The machine was like, okay. It didn't care. It ran. It continues to run. It has no faults or problems, except it blew the trace up. It blew the trace up on my brand new PCB, and the original machine is just like, I got shit to do. Sorry.
One thing
Keyboard stopped working, but that was it.
It's one thing that I must say that of all the power supplies I've ever worked with, the 2E or the 2 Plus are like the most strongest power supplies I've ever.
Aside from the reefer caps.
Okay, aside from that,
Take those out, but yeah,
you don't need a fan. You plug it in and it just works. You can do whatever you want to the computer and it still works.
Mhm.
After years and years, I have my first 2 Plus clone had an actual original Apple II power supply in it, and I opened it up. None of the caps looked bad. I took the reefer caps out. I even put new ones in, throw it on. I did all kinds of weird, and it still works after all these years. It's like a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one builds a power supply like that.
Right.
Mhm.
Like no fan. It just goes.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, I have like a 50,000-watt fan on my tower PC here, just for the power supply.
Mhm.
But
Justin says it best. Short of some kid shoving a sandwich in the disc too. But
Yeah,
it would probably still work after removing the sandwich.
for sure.
yes.
Just clean the heads, it'll work just fine. Tat, 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 tat.
That reminds me of a repair I did a few years ago. A guy brought me a
Don't put sandwiches in your disc too, though. Don't test that out, please. I don't want to try to fix them.
A guy brought me I think it's a 5150 IBM PC, and
power supplies and those are awful.
And the guy said that it doesn't work, and it makes a rattling sound. So, okay,
I know what this is.
I'm shaking it, and it's like there's something inside, like rattling, like metal pieces. Like, what the heck happened to this thing? I opened it up. It must be about $10 in quarters. Inside, the kids were sticking quarters into the floppy drives to play the game. When the game said insert coin, they actually put a coin in the thing. Over time, it just shorted up the board and it died.
Oh, that's funny.
I told the guy,
hilarious.
The power supply went. I fixed the power supply. I said I gave it back. I said, here's your bill, and I'm keeping all the change I found in it. But literally about $10 in quarters stuck in the floppy drive.
This is an awfully heavy machine. I mean, they're heavy, but this is heavy.
But it jingles like a slot machine. It's like, what the heck is in here? It's like, well, I don't know.
That's funny.
So don't put quarters in your drives or sandwiches.
No.
I've found so many different things in drives.
Yeah.
You know, Legos, toy soldiers, tools.
47,000 Right Protect labels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just laying in the bottom.
Yeah.
What's the strangest thing you guys have found in your floppy drives or computer or monitors?
I think I told that story already.
The most strangest thing you found. I'm sure I can beat you all.
Say it again, Sean. Tell it.
Okay. When I was a kid, I had a summer job at an Apple store, and this old lady brings in
this story. I know this story.
Yes.
And she said that the computer's getting hot and it smells funny. And so I took it back to work to look at it, and I popped the lid and I looked good. Turns out there's this huge bag of weed underneath the keyboard. A lot of weed. So I took the computer back out to her and I said, ma'am, who uses this computer most of the time? And she said her grandson did. And I said, well, maybe you ought to send him in here and I'll tell him how to fix it for you so he won't cost you anything. And I was really cool about it. I was gonna, I wasn't gonna, narc him out or anything. So he comes in and he's all sheep faced and because he knew he was busted, and he said, "Am I in trouble?" And I said, "No, dude, just find another place to hide your stash because you're blocking the air vents, and your grandma's not stupid. She's gonna figure it out eventually." So I mean,
would you smell that?
Bag of weed. I mean, it was big. I mean, it was huge.
So when the computer starts to smoke, it's not a reefer cap.
It's a reefer cap. Oh, okay.
It was reefer madness, but different.
Wow.
What
about you?
Oh no, nothing. I just have roaches and all that, but nothing big.
Different kind of
roaches. Oh, I've got 3 stories now.
Go, Joe.
So I have 3 stories. Weirdest things. Number 1, active roach motel. Active roaches. Active roach house brought into our repair shop back in 2003 or 4.
Oh,
I hate that.
We had to put it outside, and we had to bomb the building. It was bad.
No.
That's happened to me too.
But that's not strange. I mean, people have things. People are people. I don't know if these are strange, but they're kind of the 2 funniest things. Number 1 was a lady who brought in her computer because it was the floppy drive or the CD-ROM drive. I don't know which one was which. It wasn't working. And we found the reason was a lodged Tums antacid.
Oh, that
got in there. I don't know. Just did. Or my favorite one was the vet's office. It's not a computer, it's a printer. So we got called out to fix the printer. and it keeps jamming. It won't take paper, and we can't get the paper out of it. And we look inside the paper path, and there is a yellow highlighter, one of the big fat ones, in the paper path. It just wedged itself in there because it had rolled in there, and when the first time it pulled paper in, it wedged it in there, and you couldn't get it. So we just fished it out, and it was fine. They have shop cats. They have vets cats. They just roam around, and yeah, the cat was just like,
"What's this?"
Knocked it off into the printer, and like, "You printer, I'm a cat," and killed the printer. And so they had to pay us $80 to go out there and fish a highlighter out of a printer because of a cat. That was funny. Anyway, those are my stories.
My weirdest thing was two. One was the coins in the IBM machine, and then back around mid '90s, a friend of a friend had a problem with the computer, another IBM, and brought it to me, and I had a weird feeling about it. So I'm going to open this one outside because it was kind of dirty on the outside. It was like someone's home computer, but it was just something off, and I wasn't sure what it was. So I took it outside. And I actually put rubber gloves on because I don't usually wear rubber gloves, but I put rubber gloves on. I opened it up, and I'm looking around and I go, "What's this weird smell? It's like burnt rubber." And I thought maybe the drive belt is burnt, whatever. So I'm pulling things apart. I pull the drive, and it wasn't the belt that was burning or smelling. It was condoms.
Oh,
No!
It's like three.
Right. Rudy,
So
you
I
win.
saw them. It's like, yeah. I put everything back. I call up and says, "I can't fix this. Come pick it up. It's by the curb."
Yeah, it's like this needs to go directly to recycling.
Yes, this needs
Or,
to go.
the bonfire.
Yeah, bomb. Fire.
Give gasoline. We're gonna use.
Yeah, that works too. But yeah, actually, that was the only system I've ever refused to work on because it was so disgusting. Not because of dirt or roaches, but because of what was inside. And it's like, I don't want to know if they're brand new or used. I just took it and shipped it out. And bye.
No. We need to move the hell on from
Let's
this.
move on. Yes.
Done.
That wins. That's worse. Those.
That's
Yeah.
I've seen dead
No,
dogs, I've seen dead mice.
yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, all of that, it's weird, but not truly strange, right? It's just like, okay.
I found a mouse in an Apple II drive, and I don't know how the guy got in there. Like, I know there's spacing on the door. It's a bit bigger, but I mean, this mouse must be like, I don't know, super tiny.
The mouse's head can fit.
Squish really headed.
Can fit into like holes that only that big.
Yeah,
Like a
and
quarter of an inch.
he got in there.
So that drive door is nothing to that mouse.
Yeah, he got in.
Remember Garrett Myers from the group? He sent a photo of my skeleton that he found inside an Apple II.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Just how it goes in the port in the back, an open port, and
maybe yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was working on an old 386 many years ago, and the mouse took a stroll across the logic board and did something terrible. He not only fried himself, he kind of blew up.
Oh,
And there were, I mean, it was just.
I can't sleep tonight now. I have all these weird images in my head, and it's not from the reefer.
The same thing happened to my parents. This is a little bit different, but my parents had gone away for a weekend, and I was checking up on their house. I go in, it's like really hot. It's like an oven. It's like, why is the air conditioning not working? So I go in the back. It's a big old air conditioner, like 30 years old. I take the 7-8 screws off, pull the lid off, and there was a mouse nest in there, and one had like a spread eagle on top of the main contact, and he was like burnt and fried. It was like,
that's what
so he was shorting out the power to it. So every time I'd flick the circuit breaker, it would just go off again. It's like, what the heck?
That's what mine looked like. He was all spread eagled, and it looked like his spine had just blown out of his back, and he was kind of wide open, and They were little mouse gizzards and
So
bits all over
clever.
the cars, and
We got to
it was
save these
awful.
stories for Halloween. Scary stories.
Okay, it's official now, Rudy. You have to go as Dracula. You have the voice.
Apple tree, 1, 2, 3.
Three, two, apple two.
2 apple trees. All right, we're getting silly here.
Anyway,
What's next on the agenda, Joe?
well, I think we're pretty much done, unless anybody has something really cool they want to chat about tonight. We didn't get a lot of questions, but that's okay.
A question for everybody here and in the chat. Anyone doing Septandy videos?
Ooh, yes, I am.
That's
But
your,
what about people in the chat?
that's it is. My question is to them too. Joe, you're doing a Coco 3, right?
Yes, as long as I get my 6309 in time, and if I don't, hopefully I'll remember to do it in October. But October is going to be pumpkin tosh time, so we'll see.
Definitely, yeah.
Good.
Justin's doing a Septandy. Ooh, yeah. Anybody else? Anybody else?
No,
Anybody else?
no. Well,
Nope. Cool. So Septandy, if anybody's in there is at like, what is Septandy? It's when you do tandy stuff in September, as the name, like Marchintosh. Yep. And
Or
so,
May-
or Maypro or
Maypro.
December. We picked a month and we do that as nerds, and we do a tandy thing. Some of the Septandiers, the people that are really heavy into tandy, like we tend to be in the apples, will do like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 videos in that month. Kind of like when
Marchintosh.
Marchintosh, and we just crank out that content, But some of us, we'll just do like one video. Like I have like one kind of concrete plan for Septandy. I might also do a live stream of working on one of the 4 Ps that I got, that batch of like 5 of them that I got. But yeah,
They're all sold, right?
they're all promised out.
All promised.
Put it that way. Yeah.
I had a bunch of tandy stuff for a while back in the 90s, and sometimes I kind of miss it. I had 2 Model 3s and a Model 4 and quite a few binders of the cool stuff, the LDOS, Tristos, and New DOS 80, and they were fun to play with. But the Apple II was really my thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you had a really good ecosystem going on. Even though they didn't have like heavy sales comparatively in the later years, they're, as they say for the colored computers, the coconuts, they love their machines. And I don't blame them. They are really pretty cool.
There have been times I've thought about going back and trying to dip my toe in and get back into it and kind of relive the fun time I had exploring the Turris 80, but I find that they're not as readily available.
Yeah.
and they're not cheap.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. Like the Model 1 is probably by far the most popular machine of all of them. But the problem is that they all fell apart within like 6 months of people buying them.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that as a whatever. The Model 1 was a quick make it happen project. It didn't have a lot of. It didn't. You have to think of the Model 1 as a kind of like Tandy's Apple 1 in a way. It was the first thing they ever did. So they were learning that process and stuff. And it was made very inexpensively. And that ended up being the Model 1's downfall. And then, so when you find one that works and that has the stuff with it, of course it's going to be expensive. So yeah.
I have a Model 3, which I got about 2 years ago. I paid a really good, cheap price for it. They said it was working, had some problems. It was shipped, and the guy just basically put a towel around it in a box. And it showed up. The case was fine, but the monitor, the tube had broken off the standoffs and bounced around inside. And so the whole inside was just e-waste, like it was gone.
Yeah.
And so I have the case. I'm thinking of doing a project where I can just put an LCD monitor, maybe a small mini ATX motherboard in it, and then run emulation like a TRS-80 emulator, Apple emulator.
I wonder if the Mister has a core for the TRS-80 Model 3, because then you could do like a full kind of
Yeah.
thing. I don't know.
It depends if the original keyboard will work with it.
It's true. Well, wiring, hack it, man.
Yeah.
I'll create you an encoder.
Cool.
I can create a scanner for any keyboard. I know how they all work.
I mean, I had the 5 meg external hard drive that was big, huge thing.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling it to some guy for like $500 or $600 for the whole thing, but because I needed the money back then. I had to have a car versus having a TRS-80 collection.
Yeah.
There's your comment right there. Those are always the deals. Yep.
Sweet.
Unfortunately, I paid more than $25 for my 6309. So yeah.
I still have a couple of Model 100s and a couple of Model 102s though.
Ooh, yeah.
Those are fun.
Those are those little ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one of those with that bundle of 4Ps that I got. Turned it on, worked perfectly. He's like, okay. Which is weird because I understand those things are notorious for self-destructing. So the fact that mine just worked is like
cool.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Well, I think we're going to wrap up the show for tonight. I want to thank everybody who stopped by to watch the show and hang out with us, just shooting the breeze. We didn't really have a plan tonight. Why are you here? If you liked our content tonight, remember to lasso that like button, whip that subscribe button. I'm bad at outros. I'm really bad at this part. And also, you know that when we're going to be doing the videos. Final shameless self-promotion. My name's Joe Strohsnyder. I run Joe's Computer Museum, which you see behind me. If you want to support the cool things I do, you can follow me at Museum Joe. You can find me at Joe's Computer Museum on the YubTubs right here. And you can also go to jcm-1.com and get really cool things like Blue SCSI replacement hard drives for your Macs, or replacement keyboard encoders for literally every Apple II and every Apple III available, with the exception of the Apple II GS. I've got them all. RAM boards for the Franklin Ace, and lots of other cool things. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack is asking me a question regarding that right now. Are the tiny comps available? Yes. I have 14 quadrillion of them in stock. I have a lot. I've got something like 16 of them. I have plenty of tiny comps. So if you want a tiny comp, jcm-1.com, designed by Rudy's Retro Intel, right below me. Rudy, take it away.
And you've updated the site with the Coco One documents, so we now have the Atari 2600 console, the Atari 600 XL, which should be the same for the 800 XL, Timex Sinclair 1000, and now the Coco One, and we also have a document, a generic document, so that if you find a console or computer that's not covered and you want to try it out, well, you can use that document to help figure it out. I'm Rudy. You can find me on Rudy's Retro Intel on the YouTube things. And if not, come here and see us on the Retro Repair Roundup. And I'll pass it on to the next.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean, yes.
You can find me as A2Fan on Twitter and A2Fan@hotmail.com for my email if you need to reach me for some reason. But I have no podcast. This is it.
Love it.
Cool beans. And Javier.
That is me. My name is Javier. I am Hubmaster in the Twitters. I have Adventures of Retro Computing in YouTube. And please go and check me, like me, subscribe, because I need subscribers. And
don't we all?
Of course, 8BTs, the best
baby
t-shirt store in the planet. Okay, and then you can get all your nerdy needs over there. And
He'll literally sell you the shirt off his back.
Yes. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Yes.
And I will give the outro for Ron since he couldn't be here tonight. I'm going to assume he got tied up doing something. But yeah, don't forget also to follow Ron from Ron's Computer Videos. You can find him on Twitter at Ron's Comp Vids. You can also find him on YouTube by just searching Ron's Computer Videos in the YouTube search bar, and you will find him. He also recently opened a web store for selling T-shirts and buttons and stickers and things. And if you go to his, I believe if you go to his Twitter profile, you can find his Linktree link that then links to all of his other social media. So make sure you check out Ron too, because if it weren't for him, this place would be like boring and we wouldn't have any jokes. So very, very important. So yes. Again, thank you all for stopping to hang out with us tonight. We're going to call it a night. And remember, I was about to do my outro for my show. 8 bits are all you need.
Retro
and whatever. Yes. See everybody. Bye.
Good night. Take care.
Bye,